Hey John, I am recording a video for you where I actually used both the ABC bull and ABC bearish patterns, and then I use the Dow stocks now, and we can probably try anything. But there's a daily stock. So what I have is here is an ABC bullish pattern and ABC bearish pattern at the bottom. So they're pretty much identical charts. Only thing is they have a bullish and bearish. What else I have is so even on the radar screen I have the similar type of a setup here too. So what usually happens is when you are trying to look for an ABC patterns, if there is an ABC bullish or if there's an ABC bearish pattern, it must show because these two are different indicators. So the idea is which pattern do you actually pick and how do you trade it. So there's only one of them usually is valid. In the sense is, we need to, I know that the patterns, ABCs form all the time in all the markets. The way to look at it is to which way the pattern is forming and where is the trend happening and which one of them is the valid. So let me try to explain to you a couple of them, and then probably we'll go by and see some more of these from the charts. So on the right side I have a radar screen. In the radar screen I have all the bullish and the bearish patterns, and then I think I took out the target so that way I can show you within single screen. So what I have is a let's say, of course, in the industrials, if you look at it, this is the Dow. In this, there is an ABC bullish pattern formed. One of the things which I wanted to definitely highlight is something called a fib bands. Fib bands is very critical for finding the validation of the pattern. So what I do is not necessarily how big or how small the ABC pattern forming, but I also look at it where is it forming, whether the pattern is forming at the lower end of the fib bands or is it completely compassed by the entire fib bands, or is it happening completely outside of the fib bands. So that's that type of a structure I look for it. For example, here what we have is an ABC bullish pattern. If you look at it on the top, there is an ABC bullish pattern which actually has A, B, C. All three of them are outside of the completely ABC, the fib band. So the fib bands is the central band is very critical, and then we have two offsets. And so the critical elements in this is the mid band and also the extreme bands. So when I'm trying to look for patterns, I am always looking to see, is the pattern forming, is the A forming outside the fib bands. That kind of tells me that, it's kind of probably like an oversold and maybe a critical point type of thing. And then, like even if the B is forming, in fact, for the perfect ABCs, when the B is just forming right above the, or, very close to the mid band, and then C is retraced at least 60%. But this one is pretty large. In fact, these are also quite successful patterns, like when it completely encompassed the entire of ABCs type of thing. So, but in this case, of course, there is no ABC bearish with the given settings. But let's just go and pick one which has both of them. Let's say, suppose if you see BSC, which is the Bank of America, right? So the Bank of America has, I have super bars, and one of them, I thought I put it in both, but anyway. So super bars, the ABC, what we have is a bullish pattern on the top, and then here what we have is it's almost like a double, let's see. Okay, it's almost like a double top pattern rather than an ABC pattern, because now it's of course with ABC patterns you can also detect these double tops and double bottoms too. So here we have a double top pattern. So double top patterns have a little bit of different way of structuring it. As I said, if the C retracement is beyond 88.6, it becomes a double top or double bottom, and in this case it's a double top kind of a pattern. So for double tops to actually reverse, there's got to be quite a few things needs to happen. But in this case, just because it falls through this EL, it's not an automatic sell. But here, one of the strongest way how the pattern looks at it is how the perfect ABCs form, when A is outside the fib band, lower fib band, and B is above the mid fib band, and C is below the mid fib band. band. There is another structure which is also powerful, is when the pattern is just supported by the mid fib band, like this particular ABC. This is also pretty strong ABC, I would consider it, and this is the reason. In fact, if you look at my archives, I've been posting that this is the pretty strong ABC bullish condition which is in the Bank of America. So let's look at Caterpillar. Caterpillar has a similar type of setup, and this is almost like a double bottom pattern. In fact, again, if you go back and look at my structures, you would see the same type of a double bottom and double top type of thing. So this is actually a double bottom pattern, and I would think that this is probably stronger pattern here. So here, let's just suppose we have a ABC bearish pattern, which is kind of a there, but is it really valid? In order for this to be really valid ABC bearish pattern, I want the price to trade below the mid fib band. The mid fib band is about 85.94, and that's the price when it comes back, and then it gives me a superboss sell signal, means a superboss being turned into red. That's where I would consider that as the ABC bearish. This is actually a qualified ABC bearish pattern, but it's not a tradable. That's what happens when you're seeing both of them, because as I said, both patterns had to show it because they exist in there, but only one of them is truly tradable, and that truly tradable comes from actually by looking at a lot of these patterns over the time you would experience it yourself. And the key is is it really supported by the market context? And market context is things like the the fib bands or the moving averages, or you have a pivots, or any of those type of stuff. I think I forgot to mention one more. Do I have it here? I thought I put yes, not in this. Oops, not even in this. Maybe I didn't. There's another indicator called market structures. Market structures is the one which actually shows the key elements of the market's turning, whether it's turning in a bullish or a bearish, so the swing pivot high and swing pivot lows. But that's what it shows you in the markets, and I'll be showing it to you when they occur to you. And anyway, let's pick up another one. Let's take CVGE, General Electric. Okay, here. In this case, oh, there it is. It's actually there. I didn't realize that. Yes, it's there. So see this structuring called MSH and MSLs. These are called the market structure highs and market structure lows, and these are formed. These are also detected. This is called a key market structure. And so if my ABC patterns are also supported by key market structure highs and key market structure lows, then I tend to believe them much more stronger than if the pattern is forming absolutely without anything. So in this case, just analyzing the ABCs itself, as I said, this ABC is also pretty stronger ABC, and here ABC bullish pattern is more valid than ABC bearish. And ABC bearish is, first of all, it's not even a ABC bearish anymore, because the pattern has actually crossed almost 119%. So I think probably the maxi retracement is set to 128. That's the reason it's even showing this. But otherwise, this is not an ABC bearish pattern at all to start with. And also this ABC is also forming almost completely fully encompassing all three levels, means A is below the extreme fib band, and B is above the extreme fib band, C is again below the extreme fib band. So that's what tells me that these type of patterns are also there's a perfect patterns, and then there are like a stronger ABC bullish and bearish pattern. So this is the GE is the selection here. Let's pick there's a couple of more here. Let's pick Intel. Oops, Intel is not even okay, but Intel is of course in a ABC bullish pattern. I've traded in Intel, and now I'm actually waiting for it. I think it's in the next couple of days we do see the earnings for Intel, I think. Let's see which one we should pick it. Let's pick IBM. There it is. It has got both ABC bullish and ABC bearish here. So here is what's happening with this pattern. First of all, this ABC, this is again a double bottom pattern, and in this case for sure the ABC bearish is more stronger. And if you look at, there is a market structure high, which is the market structure high, which is also our A pivot is also market structure high. And then the second is, because once you see this type of a pattern, when the price drops below EL and also the mid fib band with a super boss, and that is kind of telling you that this is the stronger case. bias, and in this case it also had a I think IBM had a kind of a head and shoulders pattern, which I'm not in the trade, but I was going to tell you that, that's it has a kind of a head and shoulder pattern. But here there is no ABC bullish trigger yet, but if it does trigger it, I do want not only the EL, but I also want the mid fib band to trigger it for a long trade. But at this point, IBM, in my view, it's a negative trade or a short trade. Let's see, look at it. Let's look at Procter and Gamble. Okay, Procter and Gamble, it's a similar type of a setup here. In this case, I do not trade, this type of a very elongated trades. This what I call is a kind of an imbalanced ABC, because basically it took AB like 107 bars. If you look at 107 bars, whereas the BC leg, it did retrace about 44%, which is does not meet my minimum criteria, which is about 50% or more. But the BC leg only has 41 bars. So in this case, I won't consider this is a ABC bullish, although it's plotting and it may work out, but still I won't trade this type of a pattern because it doesn't meet my minimum criteria for me to trade it. Let's look at a couple of more. Let's look at Walmart. Here Walmart again. In this case, I would say an ABC bullish probably is a little bit viable, because again it's kind of an imbalance, because it has a 93 bars in AB leg and BC leg has only 27. That's like a 1/3 of it. And then now it's trying to probably go up, and Walmart is, I think, about to come out with their earnings also. And in this case, ABC bearish is not even valid, because this the C retracement is 123%. So that's how you need to analyze it. I think the very critical thing is, the fib bands is very critical, because that's how you look at the patterns and also look at the trend. Patterns form, all the time. If you look at, this could be a, some other pattern formation too. So, but the key is which patterns do you select it and which patterns do you trade it, and that's what brings a success to the trader, if you know how to do this. So I hope I explained it to you. If you do have any questions, please send it to me via email and I'll respond it to you again. Thanks, and have a great day.